So I received a phone call yesterday. A little bit of a frantic, shocking voice on the other end of the line. And it was a friend of mine. Her name's Angela. And she was very concerned and very worried and very scared that she wasn't prepared. She's her words to me were prepping for SHTF, Kevin. I don't know what to do. I don't even know if I'm prepared. I don't even know if I've prepped. I've watched Canadian Prepper. I've watched City Prepping. I've watched Patrick Humphrey. I've watched Preparing for Survival. Like, I've watched them all. Poplar preparedness, pinball preparedness, and have I prepped enough? Slow down, take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. That's what I told her. And we had a long conversation. Probably why I look so tired right now, because I was up for a long time. Not necessarily talking her, backing her down off the ledge, but just trying to provide some form of relief that you're doing the right thing. You don't have anything to worry about. There's no need in worrying and stressing about something that you don't know and you can't control. So prepping for SHTF there's a lot that goes into that. And to give you a little bit of a backstory, my friend Angela, she has what she calls, and I don't know if this is an actual term, analysis paralysis is what she says. Basically, she has a very tough and difficult time making decisions, so to speak, because of or taking action because of her over she overanalyzes a lot of things because she wants everything to be perfect. She wants everything to be perfect. So the overanalyzation almost makes it so that she does nothing in fear of whatever she does not being perfect, if that makes sense. But we've gotten through that. It's taken some time and we've gotten through that. And she has slowly started prepping. She's actually converted several areas of her home, besides the pantry that was originally built with the house and designed to store food, to converting different rooms in the house and different spaces that she had to store food, water, supplies, blankets, batteries, flashlights, first aid kits, all sorts of things, feminine products. That was one of the things that she was really concerned about. Was she goes, Kevin, I've been reading the news and there's a shortage of feminine products. Now, she also mentioned there's going to be or possibly is a shortage of this Plan B pill, emergency contraceptive, and or rationing. Stores placing limits on these products as a result of Roe v. Wade's overturning. Not that she uses it, but she's mentioning it. She's like, look, I don't know if this is real. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the news is targeting females, trying to stir something up. I don't know. I'm worried. I'm scared. What should I do? Calm down. Take a deep breath. Relax. It's kind of hard to move forward and be effective at what you're doing if all you're doing is panicking. It's hard. So for me, I look at it as a little bit of a form of triage, and you have to take everything that you got, take everything that's you're hit with, and then prioritize and say, all right, what's the most important? Let's knock that out. Let's go on to the next, and then the next, and then the next. I told her, I said, prepping, you're never done prepping. And just because you aren't physically gardening, growing food, canning food, stockpiling, Just because you're not physically doing these things doesn't mean that you're not prepping. Now, granted, some of her prepping caused her panic, but preparing includes being educated and gaining additional knowledge, reading the news, evaluating things, cross referencing stories, doing research. You have to do these things because unfortunately, there are media outlets out there, social media, and people. I'm going to get to that. There's social media outlets that knowingly or unknowingly share and spread false information. We're going to get to the video I put up the other day about the Casper, Wyoming Walmart rationing food and issuing vouchers for meat, chicken, beef, and pork. We're going to get to that as I'm telling you that there are news outlets, media outlets, social media platforms, and people who knowingly and unknowingly share bad information that, for those who are out there trying to do the right thing, trying to prepare, trying to do the best they can, they take this and they immediately take it for face value. And it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It creates and causes so many more problems than it needs to. The reasons behind it, they vary. But at the end of the day, you got to do your research. You have to know yourself what's real and what's fake. And honestly, I think if you watch my channel and my videos and you understand some of the things that I bring to you that I know sometimes you're like, Kevin, what the hell are you talking about? I think if if you watch my videos, you may be able to better understand how to identify what's real and identify what's fake. As things continuously get worse, I think things are going to continuously be played at an angle to trick you purposely. The stock market is one of those. The stock market right now is not real 100%. And we can see it through some of these meme stocks like AMC and GameStop. And like GameStop is like the biggest one because there's no value in GameStop, yet, it's to the moon and it's fake. And this is the direction that our world is going in. If you're not going to invest in a stock like you used to based on the performance or possible performance of the company, like Coca-Cola, like Apple, like Amazon, years ago, like IBM, you're not going to do that, like Microsoft. You're not going to do that. Google rolled out. You're not going to do that because the stocks are valued differently amongst the players who are out there trying to trick you. And they're trying to trick you to get your money, not the stock market, if that makes sense. We'll go into that a little bit deeper later. And we're actually going to go into the Federal Reserve selling off its assets, which is affecting our economy. It's not just the Fed raising rates. There's a lot at play here that a lot of people aren't aware of that is, steering this ship down the path that it's on, the course that we're on. But like I said, we're going to talk about the people. And there are people out there that you'll come across in your life that, this could be family members, this could be friends, it could be coworkers, colleagues, and they'll tell you you're crazy. Like, you don't need to prep. Prep for what? Everything's gonna be fine. We got plenty of food. Look at the shelves. There's a lot of food. There's nothing to worry about. Oh, the government, they'll take care of this. They'll do what they need to do. Look, maybe the government will. But I can guarantee you this, if the government does what they need to do to protect us, it's gonna cost us the most. You and I'm just saying. Know that. But there's some people out there that are, I don't know if they're intentionally or knowingly trying to undermine what you're doing, even though it has no effect on their lifestyle, their lives, their future safety whatsoever. They just want to bring you down. The negativity that exists out there, especially for those who are trying to better themselves and improve their lifestyles and make changes and prepare for tomorrow and not live in today. There's people out there that they want to see you fail. You know, they want to see you fail. And usually the reason being is because they're failing, and they want everyone else to fail with them. They want to feel like less of a failure because they're not the only one failing. No, I'm failing, but so is everybody else that works in my office. They're failing too, so it's okay. That's not okay. You know, that's not a way to be. And if you are failing and someone else isn't, you don't need to try to bring them down. But hey, if you are doing your best and you are trying and you are working hard and you are getting negativity from people around you, tune it out, ignore it, forget them, distance yourself from them, social distance, move on, keep doing what you're doing, find more people who are doing what you're doing, align yourself with like-minded individuals who are trying to progress and trying to be ready and prepared for what we can only imagine is coming. Prepping for SHTF means prepping for shit hitting the fan. It doesn't mean prepping for empty shelves. It doesn't mean prepping for food shortage. It doesn't mean prepping for a housing market crash. It doesn't mean prepping for losing your job. It doesn't mean prepping for a stock market crash. It means prepping for shit hitting the fan, which could be anything. It could be any of those. It could be all of those. It could be things I didn't mention. It could be cyber attacks. It could be war. It could be terrorism. It could be some deranged shooter showing up somewhere. It could be anything. Okay. So do all you can. Do all you can. Don't worry about what you haven't done. Okay. And this is what I told Angela. I told her, I said, she goes, have I done enough? Have I done enough? I said, you're doing fine. I said, you're doing fine. I said, look, no one, there's no end to prepping. Okay. You have to continuously prep. But as long as you are trying, you're better off than doing nothing. And that's what I want to tell you guys today. As long as you're trying, you're better off than doing nothing. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep watching the YouTube videos. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to the other prepper channels, Canadian Prepper, Alaska Prepper, Patrick Humphrey, even Jeremiah Babe, and there's several others, but it's not just about farming and raising chickens and being and solar energy and collecting rainwater. A lot of preppers are talking about tactical prepping, financial prepping, spiritual prepping. There's a lot. So don't isolate it to just one specific category of prepping. Prepping for SHTF, like I said, is collective, and there's so many. Economic Prepper, very, very good channel. And he's talking about a lot of finance. He actually posted a video yesterday, I believe, about him speaking to a truck driver who basically said he's hanging it up. And it's like a truck driver, owner operator, tractor trailer, keeps America running, transports foods, necessities, goods, cars, vehicles, lumber, building materials, all sorts of stuff, medical supplies. Farming and trucking are the backbone of this country. Like, without them, we're screwed. Both of them. You can't have one without the other. But he posted a video the other day, and if you watch his video and you listen to it and you understand it, you got to realize that the information that he's sharing from the actual boots on the ground, the actual truck driver himself, allows you to prepare. All right. Well, how can I prepare? You're not going to run out and buy a semi truck. You're not going to run out and start transporting loads yourself. But you are going to listen to the information that's being shared with you and understand the severity of the situation and the impacts that it can have on our economy, on our supply chain, and use this information to prepare yourself down the road. It's more than just the food. I put up a video yesterday, and Walmart and Target and a lot of large retailers are looking at possibly not accepting returns because they don't have the space for them, and they can't financially manage the cost associated with processing the returns. So they're considering letting people keep the products. You got to be prepared for what happens after that if these businesses and companies decide to do that. This is part of prepping. And, we actually went out yesterday and purchased a duffel bag. We purchased a waterproof duffel bag, which is very interesting. We're going to test it out so you guys can see how well it works. But it's a waterproof duffel bag, so we can put a lot of the important valuables in this bag and know that they're going to be protected in the event of a flooding situation or heavy rain or anything like that. So the receipt, when we bought it, we looked at the receipt, and the receipt says mandatory 20% restocking fee. And, you know, everyone is worried about rationing and limits being placed on purchases. But I'm thinking that these businesses that are having these excess in supply and surplus and old shipments that were sitting in containers and ports now rolling in that they don't want, don't need, and the interest rates going up and all the money that they're borrowing to have this stock and this inventory, they're gonna change how they manage returns by possibly reducing the amount of time available to return products, or increasing the restocking fees to offset the costs associated with returns, making it so that people make better buying choices, but also don't return as much. And then if you do, the company doesn't take the huge loss like they used to just to process the return. And I'll leave you guys on this last little jewel here, but this is part of prepping. And it's understanding what's going on out there, listening, educating yourself, keeping up and being, abreast to the most recent stories in the news and business. The global economy overall is going to help you prepare. And we all prepare for survival. She's out shopping. She's out checking deals. She's comparing prices. And we all know that everywhere you shop, everywhere you go has a membership program, a card to scan, an app to use. They're tracking you. We know that. Well, how about this? How about if shit really does hit the fan? And this is going back to prepping for SHTF. And if you want to know more about prepping for SHTF, just type it in, search for it. You'll find all sorts of information. And they're tracking us through these apps and these cards and these membership programs, right? Well, if business takes a decline, think about it like this. If business takes a decline and business slows down, stores have to close. Not businesses go out of business or businesses completely go bankrupt. But let's just say some stores start reducing their overhead. They start closing stores. They start laying people off. They start moving more towards an online shopping experience. Less stores exist. Less physical brick and mortar stores exist for you to walk into and shop and buy your groceries and your food and your chicken and your milk and your rice and your cooking oil. Less of those stores exist to do that on a regular basis. But you still need these items, right? These necessities. So, and you're not interested or willing to utilize the online options of delivery and shopping. And me personally, I don't want to buy my food. I don't want to go grocery shopping online. Like, I don't want to do that. I'm not interested. I want to pick out my food. But, a lot of craziness going on out there. But imagine if they start closing stores, right? And this is part of prepping. This is part of understanding what's going on and what could be coming down the pipeline. Walmart has already closed several stores, and there are more slated to close. Whole Foods closed stores, more to close. So imagine if these stores that provide groceries and food, these staples, close some of their stores. What's going to happen to the people who shop at these stores regularly? They're going to still shop at these stores, but they're just going to change which stores they shop at. Instead of traveling 3, 4, 5 miles to their closest one that is now closed, they're going to travel 10, 12, 15 miles to the next closest one, possibly yours, increasing the demand in this store that already had probably limited supply, further disrupting the supply chain, reducing inventory levels, putting more stress on the grocery store, Publix, Kroger, Sprouts, whoever, wherever you shop, right? Then you're going to have some problems. You're going to have some problems. And the stores are going to be, their shelves are going to get wiped out. Shoppers are going to be angry. People are going to be upset. And honestly, right now, the most logical thing to do that I think businesses may implement would be to limit not how much you can buy, not limit what you can buy, but possibly limit who can shop there, right? So that the outside cities, the outside zip codes, or wherever you're coming from, you don't converge and start coming into these stores that you don't belong into. For instance, Michelle and I, we went to Sam's Club the other day, and it was like 8 o'clock in the morning. And Sam's Club has two memberships. They have a membership that lets you come in early, and then they have a membership that lets you come in when they normally open. And I think the difference is like 8 versus 10, something like that. And this woman walks in front of us, and there's a lady at the door checking your memberships, and she goes, "Hey, I need to see your membership." And the lady goes, "Oh, they don't always ask for it." So she's like, "Yeah, I still need to see it." So, she's like reluctant. She walks backwards and she pulls out her phone and shows her membership on the phone. And the lady goes, "You don't have the right membership to be here. You can't come in here until we open. This is early members only." And she turns around and leaves. Now, one, she knew she didn't have this membership, which is why she tried to walk in without showing her membership card, because she knew she would have been turned around immediately. She was just hoping she could get through, get by. But Sam's Club showed me that this is possible by using these apps, by using these shopping programs and these tracking systems. They can decide and tell who should be there and who shouldn't be. Now, not to a point of you use your Kroger Plus card and they tell you can't come in at a certain time, but possibly, let's just say you're a parent searching for baby formula for an infant in your care, and you in your local stores don't have any, so you're traveling distances to find it, and you get to a store and you walk in. Let's just say it's Kroger. Let's say you walk into Kroger, and they go, "Hey, we're scanning Kroger Plus cards before you walk in." And they scan your Kroger Plus card and they go, "Oh, you've never shopped here before. And actually, it looks like you've historically shopped 30 miles away from here. So I'm sorry, but you're not allowed to shop here because we don't want you to take away from our local buyers, our local shoppers who, consistently support this Kroger." This is what prepping for SHTF means. It means being aware and being knowledgeable and understanding what's going on and the implications of everything that is happening and potentially could be happening, so that you are better prepared for when it does, if it does. Hopefully it's an if, but more than likely when. But comment below if you understand what I'm saying about how these apps and these trackers and these savings barcode scanners and all this that a lot of people are involved in. Let me know if you understand what I'm saying about how these could be used against you to triangulate and, really place a boundary on you where you can shop in the future versus where you have shopped in the past. Because I don't think that the stores are going to make their money. They're going to have their inflation. They're going to have their price increases. They're going to adjust to make the profit that they need to make. But they also don't want to get wiped out, and they don't want to create any sort of anger amongst the regular shoppers. Because let's just say all this turns back around and we're kind of back to normal, then they could potentially see a negative decline from the regulars because of the things that they've done during the chaos. And then, somebody will say, I'm not shopping here anymore because when we really needed you, you sold everything to the out of towners. You sold everything to the guys coming across the border, guys and girls coming across the border, state borders, state lines. You didn't support us like we supported you. Comment below and let me know if you understand what I'm saying about how this could be potentially used against you to restrict you to your area where you belong, and you ain't coming in from out of town to buy up everything that the locals have, earned the right to have first right of refusal for. I think this could be a growing problem. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying it could. That's it. I'm talking to you like I would talk to Angela and explain to you that prepping for SHTF is more than just planting seeds and growing chickens and canning and buying up all you can and stocking up your pantry to the rafters, sky high, as Michelle would say, preparing for survival would say. There's so much to it. Do all you can and try to take a deep breath, try to relax, try to be calm, and just keep doing all you can. Don't stop. Don't quit. If you haven't started, start now. It's never too late. I want you guys to be in the best position possible that you can possibly be in if SHTF, if shit hits the fan. And hopefully it never does. And we're better for it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Give the video a like if you made it this far. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications. Share if you would. Our community is growing. I think the family, we're up to like almost 17,000 subscribers, which is crazy. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. You're very smart. You're very intelligent. Keep doing all the great things that you're doing. Keep uplifting others. Don't bring anybody down. Ignore the negativity. Distance yourself from the negativity. We need the positivity. Don't let them divide us. Don't let them bring us down. Don't let them distract us and catch us off guard. That's what they want. We can make it. We can survive, and we'll be better for it after it's all over. And we will get through this. Trust me. So don't fear. Keep your head up. Smile today. Be happy. Despite all the negatives that are out there in the world and the news and everything that's being thrown at you, we have a lot to be grateful and happy for. Don't forget that. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. Be safe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.